Hi, this is Fiddler Crab, and this is part 2 of my overview of Fallen Earth's crafting and trade skill system. So we had just finished cooking, now we're moving on to mutagenics. Mutagenics allows you to make advancement injectors for your mutations. So if I look at my mutations tab, all I have is the alpha mutation so far that all clones have, but I'm up to patch 3, and I could make my own patch 4 injector to advance that. I could also make things like that increase my gamma, which is what you use to cast, if you will, if you're coming from a fantasy system. Gamma is sort of like mana for casting mutations. Moving over to geology. Geology is a gathering skill, and it also has things like refined steel in it. Refined steel allows me to turn iron and coal into steel. It will also allow me to turn, like for instance, superior steel. I have two recipes for. One allows me to turn iron and coal into steel, and the other allows me to turn common steel into superior steel. So I got two ways of making it there, and as the game progresses, the components get more and more rare, and you have to use better and better components to make your stuff. You can also research geology books for mining. Let's see, moving on to medicine. Medicine has some interesting things like some res kits that you can use on your to resurrect your or resuscitate your teammates. It's also got some things like a slow that you can use on enemies for localized anesthesia, and various drugs that you can use to buff your hit points or your disease and poison resistances. Nature is where you will train horses. Even though there are things like ATVs and dune buggies and motorcycles in the game, horses are nice because they travel rough terrain very well, and they are cheap to feed and keep moving. There's also a lot of interesting other things in nature, like poisons and various other knickknacks. Down here in the bottom left, you've got the active recipes button. This will open and close your active recipes thing, so if you ever close active recipes and think you've lost it, that little button at the bottom of your recipes will bring it back. Here I've finished another medium gunpowder, which is going to turn into medium pistol ammo. And let's see, what else can we talk about here? There's a filter button in your recipes. I don't use this too much because I often then forget I've used it and wonder where the heck my recipes are. But for instance, I can hide no skill gain, and this will hide the recipes where I won't get any skill. But again, it's sort of dangerous because then you forget you've got it on and it's like, hey, what happened to my recipes? You can see there's other things here like hide cannot craft. This will hide everything that you don't have the skill, the components, or the kit to craft, and just leave a few things like bent pipe that I happen to have the materials on me for. The color coding in your recipes, if it's gray letters, then you don't have all the stuff you need to make it. If it's white letters like plumber pipe or bent pipe here, then you have everything you need to make it. For the numbers, if it's gray, you no longer get skill for it. If it's red, you can't build it yet. If it's green, it's about to go trivial. And if it's white, it's just right. You usually can get about 30 skill advancements from a recipe. So like if it requires 30 skill, you can advance with it up to about 60, and then it stops giving you skill. But that isn't always true on some of the early low-level stuff, so be careful about loading up, 20 of the same recipe just for skilling up. I should mention, in the active recipes, you can queue up a total of 30 different recipes at a time. So like right now, I've got 13 gunpowders and one injector going. There's also things like the active recipes has an abort button. You can abort pending items without problem. If you abort something that's actually being made, you'll lose the components. You can always mouse over the components just to see what they are. Higher level stuff requires higher level components. So for instance, an entry level thing might require some ragged cotton, but a higher level thing might require some synthetic cloth that you find from higher level trade skill nodes. It's very handy to use the filter on your pack and make a tab for trade skills. So you can see that all my trade skill items and kits are in one tab. You can also right click on your kits and make them precious so that they don't show up in your when you're trying to sell off. You can also right click on finished items and salvage them. So for instance, if I right click on these boots and salvage them, they will be destroyed, but I will get some components out for my trouble. Once I click on salvage, a little timer bar comes up. It's going to take me about a minute to salvage those boots. You can only salvage one thing at a time, but otherwise there's no limits. I don't have to stand still or stop crafting or anything to salvage. It's quite often better to sell the things that you have than to salvage them, but if you're out of pack space when you're out adventuring and you want to salvage some gear rather than just not pick it up, then that's when I mostly use salvage. Taking a look at skills here, you can see Fiddler Crab is definitely a crafter. He's working on all of his skills. You cannot put advancement points into skills. You have to actually work them up by practicing and doing building things. Your cap on your trade skills is controlled 75% by your intelligence and 25% by your perception. And so in order to get a high cap for my trade skills, I'm having to put points into intelligence and perception. You can see I salvaged some leather and some cloth and some chemicals from those boots. Let's see, so if I look at stats, you can see that my intelligence and perception are near maxed, and that's why I have a high max for my trade skills. But I've put a lot of points into stats, and that means that I'm not able to put a lot of points into my adventuring skills. So if we look at those, you can see I'm only raising armor use, dodge, and melee, so basic offensive and defensive skills. Let's see. You can see that well, that's about all I think I have to talk about. And again, I finished another gunpowder, and yeah, I think that's about it. Those are the main points of the system, and I think what's really great about Fallen Earth is that crafting is a very important part of the game, and it's, as you can see, it's a very deep system, and it's very fun. And if you're not into crafting, you can buy things from other people, but if you are into crafting, this is a great game for you. And I hope that you found this overview informative, and if you're not playing the game, give it a try. This is Fiddler Crab, signing out. Bye.